WandaVision is set to be the kickoff to the multiverse introduction into the MCU. We know that the fallout of WandaVision will be felt in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man 3. Now we have an update on how the people involved with the various projects all got together to figure out exactly where their stories are heading and where they could possibly converge and take inspiration from one another. Going into multiple films with a plan and an idea, yeah, seems to have worked out before, so let's do it again. What a novel idea, I say. Imagine if some others took notes. Dark Universe. Transformers. Well, with WandaVision being the first one to kick off the fourth phase of the MCU, and it already introducing us into the concept of the multiverse, recently the director of WandaVision, Matt Shankman, let it be known that when it came to introducing the concept of the multiverse, he wasn't at it by himself. He did actually reveal that he sat down and had a collaborative conversation with Jon Watts and Sam Raimi, who respectively will be directing the upcoming Spider-Man and Doctor Strange sequel, which of course both of those will be dealing with the multiverse as well. And he said that they did have some conversations, some ideas were tossed out there, and they saw how they could all contribute to one another without really interfering with one another, and obviously WandaVision leading into her appearance in Doctor Strange, and how Doctor Strange is going to play off of what's happening with Spider-Man 3 and vice versa with all the other projects. Now I find it interesting that he never mentions anybody behind Loki, because from the very early announcements of all these series, Loki was supposed to go hand in hand with Doctor Strange 2 and WandaVision, but then delays in productions and changes to scripts have obviously changed some of those plans and ideas, and maybe ultimately this is why Loki is going to see more seasons faster than some of the other shows, because they want to not necessarily include them in the mainstay MCU, but also keep exploring those side stories, so maybe they figured it's best to just kind of keep Loki out of this loop for now. Now getting back to this whole conversation that they had in regards to what all three projects were doing, I mean, it's kind of important if you really think about the notion of the multiverse and time travel and how did they get there and what can one affect in the other and what can maybe, peek its head around the corner and show up in the other project, if you will. Because you don't want to find yourself in a position where characters in one film or another are contradicting the other ones. And we've seen this time and time again in some of the other competitors to Marvel Studios, where the directors don't really talk to each other, and we recently learned such things from the likes of Wonder Woman to Justice League, for example, where the two directors did not talk to each other at all and had no idea how their version of the character was going to appear in live action, so that's why they contradicted one another. But I suppose this is the Marvel Studios way and the best way to handle it, and ultimately I think it's going to be for the best once we view all the multiverse projects side by side and how they interweave and connect to one another. Because I think once we watch them all back to back years from now when it's all done, I think there's going to be a clear through line that takes it through all of them, which definitely seems to be what they're teasing.